You might know I was taken to court by my housing association, Notting Hill Genesis. My court date was the 18th of June this year. There were various allegations made against me, and these began circa 2023. I had no idea about these allegations until that court summons, so that in itself seems quite sus. I have no excuse really, but I did fuck up regarding that court case and didn't study the zillion documents relating to my case, and most importantly, how to present my case. Had I done that, I would have been allowed to show the video evidence I've acquired since moving to Dayak Court in 2013, where my targeting continued from the previous Beckham address.
Okay, I used to live.
That evidence would show clearly that some of the tenants have been the instigators of insults, threats, and much more, and that evidence going back many years before 2023. But as I said, I fucked up and didn't follow the proper procedure, so all I could do was respond to the allegations made. I will have to say that the judge seemed very impartial and fair. As a target of gangstalking and knowing how the police and mental health have done the opposite over these years, I had very low expectations, so that was really a bit of a surprise and very welcome. The judgment could have been a lot worse, but I do have certain conditions I have to meet and abide by well into next year, and no doubt beyond. Some tenants still do direct insults towards me, and Notting Hill Genesis will ignore this, as they have since I contacted 2 housing officers to find out the cause of the derogatory comments and threats. I told the judge that the few times I have acted out of character, it has been a retaliatory act, and I have never been the instigator, yet it was me that was taken to court. I emailed the CEO of Notting Hill Genesis on the 11th of July, a Mr. Patrick Franco, with a link to all the files I hoped would be read, watched and listened to at my court appearance, but haven't received any reply from him yet. Not for the first time, the housing officer I emailed to let me know what the payment plan was regarding the horrendously high court costs I have to pay, £2,103, has also ignored me. The same housing officer who attended the court and who has ignored my evidence and sided with the other tenants, probably the same tenants who have been antagonistic at best towards me. I can understand why Notting Hill Genesis gets quite lukewarm scores seen in their recent newsletter, given my continuing experience, though targets of gangstalking have low expectations when dealing with, well, anybody, particularly public bodies. A lot of people might well agree with my deserving of being gangstalked, with its various harassments, including invisible forms of torture, being surveilled and stalked, and having some form of revenge porn utilised maybe by an arm of the police. But as I've tried to point out in other videos, it's the bigger picture that people need to take their blinkers off for. I don't take kindly to being labelled with a mental health condition I don't have, because of the incompetence and closed-mindedness of the psychiatrists I've been coerced into seeing. I don't appreciate having my evidence gaslit by the police, who are involved in these operations, and having some tenants and strangers insult, threaten, harass, and secretly torture me, which is why I continue the fight to prove my targeting. I presume I was expected to buckle under the pressure years ago, but it has had the opposite effect and strengthened my resolve. Lately I've noticed strangers saying that I have cancer, or gangstalkers anyway, the part of my targeting which causes burning sensations and chronic aches may well have led to some form of terminal cancer, and if so, I will have, officially at least, succumbed to death by natural causes, rather than the reality of death by targeting operations.